Chickens today, feathers tomorrow, next day, whole thing, baby.
Man, I love my Chargers hat collection. I had to bring out a special one for this postcast.
The battle for LA, a rumble in Inglewood. Wait, hold on. Okay. Nope, that's not it.
Hold up. It's the Chargers Squad. Sponsored by Game Time. Everything Los Angeles Chargers every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the City of Angels. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get ready and squad up. It's the Chargers Squad Show, starting now.
All right, that wasn't bad for our first crack at it when all of us were like, what are we doing? Welcome to the Locked On Chargers Squad Show on the Locked On Chargers YouTube channel. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007. Kenyon Barner with us, 10 years in the league, 3 rings, and David Drogemeyer, co-host of the Locked On Chargers podcast, Monday through Friday with Daniel Wade. So you guys all know him, and hopefully you know us as well. Chargers and Rams today. Yeah, a battle for LA. Again, pretty fun preseason game. You know, I've seen a lot of comments on Facebook and Instagram and whatnot, you know, people griping about how awful preseason is, an otherwise uninteresting game, you know, blah, blah, blah. I feel like we've been kind of lucky watching the Chargers. The games have been okay. They haven't been a complete dog. And, you know, we got to see some starters today. Exciting finish. I don't know if Charger fans are upset by the way this game ended. I'm not. I felt like it all was pretty good, you know, like lots of exciting stuff as per usual. You know, the decent passing, decent running. Defense was on point, as we have seen. It wasn't great. You know, there was a complaint from Jim Harbaugh at halftime, too many penalties. I thought in the end, you know, 6 for 35 yards. That's not terrible, right, David?
No, not at all. I mean, I think the good thing about these Chargers preseason games is these guys look like they're prepared. I mean, you know, each level, besides the starters, I'll get to that a little bit later, as far as especially on the defensive side. I was not happy with what I saw with that whatsoever. But the backups, the support, the depth that stepped on the football field kind of throughout this game, I think on both sides, it shined through. It really was excited to see Tre Harris have a big game after kind of having a little bit of a slow start to his preseason. He really kind of announced himself with a big-time performance that was kind of capped off with that beautiful toe tap, kind of toe drag swag on the sideline. Big-time reception there for Tre Harris. I thought that's a confidence building type of performance and something that he definitely should be carrying into the next preseason game.
So Kenyon, here's my question for you. Which were you more excited about? The punt return for a touchdown or the T-Raw Edwards interception?
Definitely the interception. Definitely
Heck
the
yeah.
interception. Don't get me wrong. I love the punt return for a touchdown. That's what I did. It's what got me 10 years in the league, no doubt about it. But anytime you can catch a big man rumbling, stumbling down the field with the ball in his – listen, they have no business with the ball in their hands ever. Yeah, so when you get the opportunity, you got to make – and I love the little stutter he gave, a little side to side. Didn't move anybody. Might have moved the earth. But listen, that was one heck of a play.
He pushed people out the way, though, when he was running after the interception.
Well, what you get out my way, okay?
What was he doing there? I mean, that was a bizarre, rare-looking play.
That was a simulated blitz, which is something that probably you don't really see in the preseason. But yeah, Jesse Minter was getting into his bag a little bit on that one, and yeah, that was a nasty one. You see a big man, and the thing is, me and Daniel were talking before the show is. You never see the big man out in coverage. You never see him. And then when you do, it's too late. They're already rumbling, stumbling the other direction with the football.
Listen, I don't blame Jesse for what he did. The way Stetson was back there picking this defense apart at
for real.
Quarterback. So listen, I'm not mad at you, okay? I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I didn't even step away. I kind of turned my head for a second, missed it, had to see it on the replay. I was like, oh, it must have been a tip or something. Like, how did he get that ball? And then I was like, oh, he caught it. That was really cool. Definitely different and bizarre. Another positive that we've become more comfortable with, I think, as time goes on through this preseason is Trey Lance being good and solid and, you know, eye-opening and throwing solid passes, including that one in the fourth quarter that should have been a touchdown. The receiver just was not paying attention or missed it or whatever. I don't know, blinded by the lights, but that one was on point. And Trey Lance, 7 of 15, 121 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but another nice day for him throwing and running. He ran the ball for 25 to lead the Chargers. So another solid performance. And I think from what we saw from Taylor Heineke last week to this week, little better, right, Kenyon? I don't know that it gets him the backup job, but it's just still a little bit better.
It was slightly better, but at the same time, it was still bad, in my opinion. There was a lot of overthrows. He looked very uncomfortable in the pocket. I don't want to focus on Heineke. That's my guy. I love him. I want him to do well in the league. But this is really about Trey Lance. And we've kind of talked about this week after week after week so far, is that when Trey comes into the game, the offense looks completely different. The offense flows, it moves, it's like a river. It's just flowing right. It just goes. It would take a catastrophic disaster for Trey Lance not to be the backup for the Los Angeles Chargers. There's not enough yards left on the field for Heineke to try and to make up ground. If I'm Heineke, been in this situation where I've been in a position battle and I see it's not going my way, I'm on the phone with my agent. Hey, we got to figure something out. It's real. That's real.
Dude, some prep work.
Listen, I'm being completely honest. When I played for the Chargers I was there for a cup of coffee back in 2017. I didn't have a good preseason. We had just finished playing the San Francisco 49ers. I called my agent immediately. Hey, I need you to get looking now because I'm not going to be here. But shout out to Heineke. But this is really about Trey Lance and the evolution of what we've seen from him. Looks like this is the example of a guy getting up under a coach, somebody who can teach him, get him comfortable. And this is the product that you're seeing on the field. He's a completely different quarterback from what we've seen from the 49ers, completely different quarterback than what we've seen when he was at Dallas. This is about a guy getting into the system and getting around some coaches who've instilled belief in him and confidence, and now we're reaping the benefits of it.
Justin Herbert started 2 of 5, 46 yards rather, but got sacked. I think everyone was holding their breath when that happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't really a sack. That was really like a touchdown, like two-hand touch to get him on the ground. I mean, he got down safely. I don't think that's too upsetting, to be honest. But
no,
as far as the starters and Justin Herbert, I think it was a little bit of a mixed bag, right? I mean, started off with kind of a low throw to Quentin, and then a couple of plays later, obviously the deep ball to Quentin, and he gets hit late, helmet to helmet, and I think he got knocked out. I think that's what it looked like to me.
No question about it.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, is that something that you can kind of speak? I mean, it just looked like he kind of just went limp and then really smacked his head pretty hard on the turf, which hopefully it's just him getting knocked out, and there's nothing any more serious that we have to worry about with Quentin.
It's as someone who's had multiple concussions, not that that's something to brag about, you know what I'm saying? But
that explains a lot.
Pete, don't start. But I'm watching the game with my son, and as soon as he got hit, I said, "Oh, he's out." He was like, "How do you know?" I said, "You just look at his body. His body went limp. Then you see the gestures of his hand. They're awkward. They're odd. They're not normal. So he was definitely out. And so for them to have to bring the stretcher out there and all of it, it's something to definitely be worried about. I hope he's okay. It's the game of football. You know what I'm saying? And it was a legal football play. I know fans like to run off and say this, that, and the other. It was a legal football play. Guys trying to make a team. Just very unfortunate. And I hope that he's okay. I hope that it's nothing more than just a minor concussion, but based on experience, it might be something. We won't see him next week. I'll say that.
David, when you look at these numbers of Stetson Bennet, 28 of 43, 24, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Those aren't preseason numbers. Does that make you look at the Charger defense and go, not good enough? I felt like early in the game when the Rams were running the ball with Blake Corum, he was slicing and dicing. The line did not look good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that made me a little bit honestly pissed off with what I watched, for lack of a better word, because that did not look good. Like, they got gashed on the ground. We're talking 9-10 yards a clip on the ground, and then an easy, just looked like knife through butter touchdown where he was barely even touched. I mean, it's just that type of performance when your starting unit, minus obviously two extremely massive, important parts with Khalil Mack and Derwin James not suited up, regardless of that fact, you're going up against the backups. And they were running right through you like it was nothing. Like, that's definitely not the type of performance that you want from your starting defense. Like 98 or 95% of that starting defense going out there getting absolutely cooked. That right there does not instill a lot of confidence. I'm glad that it's happening now so they can go in there and make those corrections and learn off this tape, but that did not instill a lot of confidence going forward.
Listen, starters or backups, it didn't matter. It was a stick up, and the Chargers run defense gave it all up. It was, I'm watching that. I'm like, how is it you as starters, you set the tone? You know, they set the tone, and then it carried on throughout the rest of the game. As you said, it was a hot knife through butter. The run game, in my opinion, started digging in these guys' chests without surgeon tools. It was absolutely embarrassing. And if I'm Harbaugh, I'm on these guys behind. That was embarrassing. That was absolutely embarrassing.
And on the other side of things, the Chargers had a tough time running the ball today. Kamani Vidal could not find an opening. I mean, he banged out 16 very, very hard yards on 10 carries. So, Amarian Hampton played early, 2 touches, 2 carries, 12 yards. Nothing spectacular there. Again, Trey Lance led the way carrying the ball.
I like but Pete, the runs though, the type of run. I know it was only 2 carries, but it was the physicality and the way he ran the football and breaking tackles and moving the ball forward. That's what I saw. I saw that I really liked, Kenyon.
Yeah, his power, the balance, his ability to move a pile. When his feet are stopped to get him back going. That it again, to the average eye, special. But when you're looking at that game, you're studying it. Okay, this is going to be something special. And obviously, again, we don't know what's going on with Mr. Harris, but this could really be a 2-headed monster if both these guys are healthy and getting used the right way. Because it was an impressive run. It was an impressive 4 or 5 yard run.
And after Trey Lance did the fantastic acrobatic toe tap at the 1 yard line on a nice pass, Rock Sanders ran it in, and he's been good. Today, 5 carries, 11 yards, including the touchdown. What were your thoughts on him, Kenyon?
Rock is. I like Rock. I do. I like what he's doing. I like what I'm seeing from him. My mind, ever since our last meeting here, and we talked about what the running back room would look like and who would be there, my mind started working, and I'm watching how much they're using Vidal. I hope I said his name right. I'm watching how much they're using him, and it's starting to make me wonder, are they giving him an opportunity to be seen by every other NFL team? Because we aren't seeing anybody else really. We aren't seeing anyone. It's all him.
We saw Haskins at all.
We didn't
really see him at all in this game. Honestly, he's ran the football very well in the preseason so far.
And so, again, I playing the game, being in these situations, and I always tell young guys this, I studied the business of football more than I studied football. And when I see this, I'm like, okay, they're giving this guy's carrying the ball as if it's regular season. And I think it's to put him out there, get him on film, because they know where they're headed with their decisions.
So the first drive when Herbert was in there, KLS had a nice catch for 29 yards, but was 1 of 3 at that point. Did have 1 other catch, but it's nice to see, like, he didn't have any catches last week. So it's nice to see him back in the box score, David.
That was an absolute dart from Justin Herbert on that route too. I mean, the ball placement is just disgusting. There's really nothing that defender could have done, because that ball was directly in his hands on the sideline right before he goes out of bounds. It just shows you Justin Herbert's otherworldly arm talent. Like, he can literally access anywhere on the football field at any moment in time. And it wasn't, a spectacular performance from him, but that was a great throw, and it just shows you a glimpse of what he's capable of. But KLS, I think we might see similar stat lines to this throughout the season. 2-3 catches with big yards, 80, 90, 100 yards. He had two catches for 66 yards. I really feel like he showcased the ability to give us the spectacular, to go up and get the football, to be able to adjust, to contort his body, to be able to change direction quickly. And that's going to be very inviting to a quarterback that's going to gain trust very quickly. And I think he's going to get a lot more opportunities like this. But I think that is going to be the stat lines that we're going to see, I think, a lot from KLS in his rookie season.
Can we circle back to Quentin Johnston real quick from a comment here? Why me says, I was a QJ supporter, but now I wish the QJ experiment would end. I think that's interesting from the standpoint of the word experiment. I don't know that it's an experiment. And based on what, he had some drops last year and didn't end the season well. But, I mean, aren't we still giving him benefit of the doubt at this point?
Honestly, the fan base is very hot and cold on Quentin Johnston. Like they're very, very critical of him. And honestly, to me, I don't know why. Like he scored 8 touchdowns last year. Like let's not forget he led the team in scoring touchdowns. And in this performance, the first ball that Herbert throws, that's not catchable. That hit the ground. That's not his fault. And the deep ball, that ball was tipped. Right before it was about to hit him in the hands, it was tipped by the defender. And then he gets hit helmet to helmet immediately after that. So what are you exactly expecting him to be able to do in this game? And I just don't understand it. Like you should want him to be very productive for your team, because if he does well, that means the Chargers are doing well.
Excuse me. It's, again, I don't get the experiment aspect of it, but I said this when we first jumped on our first episode. I think Keenan Allen coming back, obviously, we know what Ladd is, them drafting KLS and Harris. I already immediately thought that, because when I look at KLS, I see Quentin, the ability to take the top off the defense. I see an explosive player. And so in my mind, I already said, okay, his clock could be ticking here in Los Angeles. But I want to say his name, but I don't see it. To say the experiment, I don't get that aspect of it, but I do understand the fan base. Fans get fed up with players very easily. And even though he did lead the team in touchdown passes, I'm pretty sure he also led the team in drops. And so when you look at the season that he did has, there's a lack of inconsistency. And so as a fan, and not only that, but as a teammate, I need to see consistency from you. You had I think it was the second to last game of the season where he went off for 200 yards, if I believe it was. And then he comes back the following week and he's back to his old self. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I understand it. I see it. The NFL is a what have you done for me lately business. Yeah. It's a performance-based business, and your performance is gonna keep you in a spot, or is gonna lose you a job. So I get it. I understand it. But you know what I'm saying? Let's not judge Quentin off of today. You know what I'm saying? That this is something completely different. Give the guy a shot.
Yeah. It feels to me like obviously people are a little frustrated, but it's not enough of an opportunity what happened today to say, we should be done with this guy. It's still preseason, and they're going to give him every opportunity to go out there and perform. I feel like it's a longer rope and a longer leash for him for sure.
He's a first round draft pick, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's not going
to.
While we're talking about him too, the Coach Harbaugh did actually say that he did suffer a concussion and that he was sent to the hospital for further evaluation, although he did call it a precaution. So there we go. We know. And obviously, Kenny, you kind of already knew, you spelled it out pretty clearly, but it's confirmed now Quentin Johnston does have a concussion.
And one person commented that they thought the ball should have been caught. Girthy guitarist. I don't know what that means. Ball should have been caught before the hits. I don't know. I agree with you.
The defender tipped the ball. But okay, sure.
Sometimes you got to let fans be fans. Just let them have
lofty expectations.
Let them have it. But you want to talk about Quentin, the drops and all that. I'll go to KLS and Harris for a second. KLS on the possible touchdown in the first half. That's a play that you got to have. You got to make that play and I'll go to the 2-point conversion with Harris. Though both of those plays had little to do with the defender and more to do with the offensive guy not being able to make the play. And as an offensive player, as a receiver, running back, whoever, you got to make the plays that you're supposed to make, and you have to make some of the spectacular plays. Those are the plays that make you household names. Those are the plays that make you stars. And more importantly, those are the plays that make your quarterback look at you and say, okay, in certain situations, I'm predetermining where I'm going. I don't care what the coverage is. Right. I know this guy is going to go up and make that play. So again, let's give these guys a chance. Let's not, let's not be so fair weather.
Yeah.
David, I don't want to start an argument here, but why me is still debating whether or not the ball was
I mean, that's fine. I mean, you can go watch it.
It's not tipped.
I've watched it. I've watched it several times, but that's totally fine. No worries.
I love you guys. Fans are the best.
Hey, we're not here without them. So absolutely.
No, that's true. Especially preseason, right? We need you right now more than ever. Anyone saying he's done has no football brain says
there you go.
Land.
Well spoken.
All right, let's take the first break, and when we come back, we'll get on the other side of the ball. Talk about the defense. Lots to dig into there. Lots of names in the defense stat box. I'm like scrolling. I'm like, damn, I didn't know there was that many defenders on the team. It is the Locked On Chargers Squad Show. Dave Drogemeyer, Kenyon Barner, and I am Pete Fox. We'll be right back to talk defense. All right, today's episode of the Locked On Chargers Squad Show is brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all of their financial accounts or even what they're worth. Well, that's because a lot of people aren't worth anything, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why Monarch Money is there. And that's why it's so useful and helpful. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. So you know what's going out, bills, mortgages, etc., and what's coming in, investments, 401ks, savings, etc. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, and I know that is helpful because I have multiple apps where there's little savings over here and an investment portfolio over there, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to put them all together. What I'm trying to say is I need Monarch Money as much as you guys do. So here's how you get to Monarch Money, and here's how it is a bargain for you. Don't let the financial opportunity slip through your fingers or the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com. Put it in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNFL. All right, it is the Locked On Chargers Squad Show. David Drogemeyer, Kenyon Barner, 10 years in the league, 3 rings. I am Pete Fox, and David is co-host of the Locked On Chargers podcast Monday through Friday with Daniel. For those of you that are new to this, the Squad Show comes on right now, right after the game for 1 hour. Maybe next week, but definitely by season 1 in Brazil. Kenyon and I will be doing Tuesdays and after the games on Sunday. So there'll be 3 of us doing that. David and Daniel will circle in and rotate through and so forth. So right now it's right after the game for 1 hour. That's the Squad Show. And we're here breaking it down for you. Instant reaction. When we look on the other side of the ball for the Chargers, who, by the way, in case if you're wondering or if you're curious if this matters to you, Chargers lost today. It was 23-22. The Rams with a nice drive in the final 2 minutes and scored a nice touchdown there to get the win. They were down 5. So I don't know how this actually worked out. They were down 5 and win by 1, which kind of doesn't make any sense to me. But again, I wasn't watching at that point because I was in there getting set up. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're not a fan. You didn't watch the whole game." Well, I had to get in here and do some stuff. We have to prepare for this show. But from a defensive perspective, I thought there was a lot of guys that shined today. A lot of guys that flashed, if you will. And Kenyon, is flashing just something that happens in practice, or can you flash in a preseason game as well?
You can flash in the game. I mean, flashing pops up everywhere on the field, whether it's practice. You can flash in the meeting rooms with your intelligence, your ability to recall. But you can absolutely flash in a preseason game. I'll give a prime example of somebody flashing, R.J. Mickens.
Yeah, that was the name I was going to throw out.
Yeah, absolutely flashing. But again, those flash
should have had a couple
plays,
of picks too, man. Need to check those hands.
Listen, David, you're leading the horse to water, and I'm a drink. Okay, those flash plays that R.J. Mickens had, where it was tipped balls, those should have been interceptions. Those flash plays can end up turning to big plays, which turn into you securing a job. So you can absolutely flash in preseason. You see a lot of guys flash, but Mr. Mickens, I need you to make them plays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, Lord.
A interception looks much better on your stat line than a PBU does, brother. Make the play.
David, I've got 2, so you can go, and you're not going to take both of mine. So who did you like today on defense?
Yeah, so I think I got to shout out the defensive preseason god, Tony Jefferson.
Tony Jefferson.
Uncle Tony Jeff. I mean, I still don't understand why this man is playing in the preseason when yet again he makes another play that makes me look and see that he is playing as a man among boys. He just knows what's happening out there. The instincts are there. He looks great. Honestly, he looks healthy. He looks fast.
Yes.
And I love it, man. I love seeing Tony Jefferson out there. Obviously, I'm from San Diego. Tony Jefferson is also from San Diego. So me and T-Jeff got a lot of love for him. So it's good to see him go out there and flash once again.
I liked Jasir Taylor throughout the game. He finished with 4 solo tackles, 6 total, including a big one that was all over the receiver right there in the fourth quarter. And it kept the Rams from rather 4th and 4, I believe, kept them from getting the first down. But, they had a little bit of help from the receiver not getting to the sticks. I never understand that. If it's 4th and 4, get to the sticks at least. I mean, that's
run a 5-yard route. Run a 5-yard route.
Those you know where they're at. You know where you got to get to.
Yeah.
Pete, those are the type of plays that get you cussed out in meetings. I'm telling you the truth.
I mean, I will say though, Jasir got burned pretty bad on that deep touchdown though. I mean, that one was not looking good, man. And honestly, like, I think we have to also call out the fact that Jasir was playing late into the fourth quarter, and this is a fourth-year guy here. So you playing this deep into a preseason game, I think you have to start looking at some of the writing on the wall that Kenyon was talking about earlier about maybe thinking about calling his agent.
Interesting. So like you can flash and get doused with water at the same time?
Absolutely. They will put that sparkle right out. Listen, I say it all the time. You're not flashing just for the Chargers. You're flashing for 31 other NFL teams.
Yeah.
And to David's point, it's you got to start looking at, why am I playing? If you're playing late in games like this, it's a sign. Not saying that that's what will happen, but the writing's on the wall.
Well, it was nice to see Nico Reed get in the mix again. Missed him last week, and I think this is a guy that we have all grown to appreciate and are excited to watch him play. And today, 3 total tackles, 2 solo, but he's always seemingly in the right place, and that's that's flashing right there. He's always in the right place.
Yeah. Again, this is no different than what he did at the University of Oregon. He did this week in, week out. And I'm glad to see that his game is translating to the professional level, because it's a lot of guys who play a certain way in college, but when they get to the league, it may take some time for them to get there, or they may not get there at all. But to see him jump in his fire early and be able to translate that game and play the same way with the same intensity and always being in the right spot and around the ball, that bodes great for my guy.
And his ball skills, man, they just shine. They shine through. You see it every time he's on the football field. He's around the ball. He's been able to get the ball back. And when you can go out there and you can make those type of game-changing plays, anytime you can get the ball back to Justin Herbert, that's another possession closer to you winning a football game, right? Yeah. So Nico Reed, it's sad that he kind of had to miss the last game, but came back, and I thought he looked very, very strong in this game, and I think continue furthering his case to make this 53-man roster.
Yeah. Early in the game, we saw some of the veterans, the starters. Denzel Perryman had a tackle. Troy Dye had a tackle. You got any beef with those guys, David? Did they show up for you and shine?
Yeah, I liked. Actually, Troy Dye had a nice kind of pass breakup too, which should have been an interception, to be honest, because it hit him right in the hands. But yeah, they play defense for a reason, right? As
exactly, David. I was about to say they're defenders, baby. They're defenders. They don't.
But yeah, no, I like Troy. Honestly, Troy is a super solid linebacker, a guy who I feel like when he's on the football field, there's not much of a drop off. He's a guy that is kind of comfortable in coverage. He has some instincts, and he's able to make some physical tackles. So yeah, no issues there. And also, I think I saw Deshaun Hand again flash in this game and kind of get some pressure on the quarterback. So I like what I've seen there. Also, Jamari Caldwell, really enjoyed watching this guy play. Love the effort that he plays with. feel like he always shows up, and I think he's going to be a major player.
I want to speak to my guy, Troy. You know, I'm always giving my Oregon guys love. But not only on defense, Troy is a absolute asset on the special teams unit. Whether it's covering kicks, he's an absolute monster. So, you know, whether he's getting burned at running back, not at running back, whether he's getting burned at linebacker, you will definitely see this guy on those special team units making plays and he's going to be an impact player one way or the other. Josh
has an interesting question. Was it just me, or the second team did a whole lot better than the first team? No, it wasn't just you. Okay. You know what? I'm fine with that from the standpoint of, as you said, David, I think now there's a fire under their backside, and they're going to be watching extra film or just getting their ass chewed. That was not okay, right? And you know, we probably wouldn't have seen them next week anyway. So it's just more motivation for them, more time to. You think we might?
I know we're worried about injuries, but after what I've seen, I'm not taking a chance of the first time we're actually playing a full game being when it really counts. I need to see something more from my defense. I need to see one more possession, maybe two. I need to see something that gives me confidence as your coordinator and as your head coach to say, okay, we're ready to go into the season. What I seen today, this didn't give me confidence. This didn't make me feel. This shouldn't have made anyone feel good inside. This was absolutely. You got a ball drove down the field by a second team unit, and they look like a first team unit. I don't care who we didn't have out there. I don't think those two guys would have changed that much of what happened. We need to see them one more time next week.
It's a good point. Yeah. And I don't think anybody will have a problem with that. Because you're right. Maybe first series or something, like, get back out there and prove to me that you guys are ready.
Well, go be dominant, right? Like, that's what we all expected. Yeah. Like, I didn't expect that type of performance. I didn't expect you to get absolutely destroyed and really kind of look like an open gate where they got whatever they wanted, whether it was on the ground or through the air. You had no answers. And it was just a frankly embarrassing performance, like we stated earlier. When your first team unit is out there against backups, you should be destroying them. It should be absolutely no competition. You should show them that you guys are the starters for a reason and that, you know, you're sharp, crisp, and ready to roll. But that's not what we saw on the defensive side in this game from the starters.
Yeah, work up a lather and get back to the bench, and they didn't do that.
No.
I mean, listen to these numbers. You hear these numbers. If I said you didn't know the score and I would tell you to predict the score, I think you'd be wrong. The Rams, 458 total yards, 291 for the Chargers. The Chargers, 0 turnovers, which is good. Rams had 1, but first downs 26-16. The Rams were moving the ball, and the Chargers did a nice job to make this one interesting based on those stats for sure. And time of possession heavily in favor of the Rams as well. So these are kind of things that, we don't get too upset about it right now, but they definitely should be mentioned and something that they have to be aware of for sure.
This week, going into this last preseason game, there's going to be the guys. You're going to split the team up, right? And they'll start off practicing together, but then the starters are going to go off and they're going to work on game prep, and you'll have your scout team and everything. If I'm the scout team, I'm a little nervous, because I know what the defensive coordinator is telling them. I know what Harbaugh is telling them. It's going to be a hard week when they split up. It's going to be a physical week. It's going to be, you're going to feel like guys don't like you, but that's what this team needs. This defense needs that. I think they needed to be kicked in their butt, like you said, a wake-up call. So, you know, hopefully something has to change, and I think this week we'll see. But again, they need to be back out there next week. I don't care what it is. I need to see you one more time.
Kyle says Vidal looked lost tonight, and it might spell his exit, for the Chargers, because they have other options, but in the backfield there for sure. Let's take another break real quick. When we come back, we'll talk special teams, and then some other stuff, because we can't spend all that much time on special teams. But
that's the problem. That's the problem. Y'all don't want to give special teams love. That's the same thing with head coaches. You get 15 minutes in practice, ain't enough.
We can do the whole last 20 if you want. Like, you're the boss, man. I just drive. I forget who I'm around. I'm so sorry. Shame on me. Damn right. Next time we're gonna lead with special teams, and we're gonna do a full 20 minutes on special teams. Just
There
because
we go.
Kenyon Barner is here. Damn, I'm in the penalty box for that.
3 rings, Pete. 3 rings.
It's the Locked On Chargers squad show. Pete Fox, David Drogemeyer, Kenyon Barner. Final break. We'll come back and talk about special teams right up to the finish line. Don't you go anywhere. Today's episode of the Locked On Chargers Squad Show is brought to you by Yahoo Fantasy. It's the best time of year. NFL kickoff is almost here, and that means fantasy football season is back in full swing. And this year, Yahoo Fantasy is turning things up with a fantasy football experience like never before. One of the new things that sounds really cool, the new Guillotine League. They just dropped every week. The lowest scoring team is eliminated, and the last one standing wins. To celebrate 28 years of fantasy football greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days throughout August. To kick it off, they dropped Yahoo Fantasy Guillotine League, as I just mentioned, a killer new way to play fantasy football. Lowest scoring team gets eliminated each week until there's one team left standing. The season around the corner. Now's the time to get your league together and give this new mode a try. If you're more into the classics, you can still play head-to-head, private leagues, or join a public league. Stay tuned for more killer announcements and start playing Yahoo Fantasy Football now at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. All right, Chargers fall in a back and forth battle in Inglewood at SoFi. The battle to the Rams. But Chargers did a lot of good things, and I think we can feel good about the fact that Naheem Miller-Hines did not drop a ball today, Kenyon. 2 returns, 45 yards. Like what you see from him today? Was the confidence there? No. Why not?
I like the yardage of the game, don't get me wrong, but I watched the game through a different lens as a returner. And I believe it was his first return. As a returner, you never want to leave your feet. I felt like he was in a panic. I think those drops are still playing in his mind. From the guy that we seen early in preseason, the first game, there was a comfort about him. There was a confidence about him. And now, since last game going into this one, I'm not seeing that confidence. So I'm still a little bit worried because you don't look the same to me. As a returner, you want to have quiet but busy feet. You should never be caught in a panic. And it seems like, again, those fumbles and the muffs, let me not say fumbles, those muffs are playing in his mind to where now he's getting panicked and he's worried about his position. Again, I like the yardage. I like what he gained. But in order to gain those yards, you got to secure the catch. And if I'm jumping and I'm catching, I'm worried as a coach.
What do you think, David?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I'm going to defer to Kenyon as the kind of specialist on that, but I do feel like he kind of got upstaged a little bit in the special teams part of it because obviously Luke Grimm last game almost took one back to the house. Well, this time he finished the job. He was able to grab it, set up his set up his special teams unit, and they blocked beautifully for him. He hit the sideline, had the speed to hit the sideline, and took off and was able to finish the play for a big touchdown. Those are game-changing plays. Whenever you get points on special teams, it is big. That could be the difference between winning and losing. Special teams touchdowns are the best, man. They're so awesome. They're one of the most electric plays in the game. Gets everybody juiced.
Pete, I want to be clear. I want to clear something up. Those 2 returns for Naheem, those were on kickoff. He only had one punt return, and on that punt, after that punt return, we did not see him again. And so again, as a coach, when I'm looking at that worries me. And again, looking at this game and looking at it observing it from the lens that I observe it, to get pulled that fast, I don't think that bodes well. I don't think that bodes well for my guy. There's a possibility
out there returned to punt. I mean, it was only a couple of yards.
And I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. I did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like the ability to make guys miss. I didn't like him going backwards on the spin move. I didn't
Gotta
like
get
that.
north and south, right?
Gotta get north
down the
and south.
field.
You know what I'm saying? So I did like it. And if he can be that guy that can come in after Darius, and give him a spell if something does go wrong, praying that doesn't happen. But that does look good. I did like it. He looked comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Especially for that to be his first time catching a punt return in a live game, he looked very comfortable.
So, Ken, what you think that Miller Hines has? Obviously, those drops, muffs are still there. They'd be in anybody's head, right? It's not just him. He's not special or unique or weak-minded or anything. It's definitely when you're a professional athlete and you make a mistake like that and you do it twice. Especially in football when you have limited reps, it's obviously going to be in there and sticking with you. And then that's what makes professional, in my opinion, that's what makes professional athletes brilliant and different from regular people. The ability to forget, the short-term memory that be a goldfish and just that play is gone. Let's move on to the next one. And if you can do that better than the next guy, that's going to help you be successful. Is it nothing more than time for him, or is he cooked at this point, do you think?
I'm not, excuse me, I'm going to be completely honest. I think he sealed his fate. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I think after that first punt return, the way he caught that ball, we did not see him again back there at the return spot. So I don't know what other spot that they would be looking at him in. If I'm looking at this running back room, it's not running back that we're looking at you at. So there's definitely the special team aspect of it. And it clearly was the punt return because that's where he was getting most of his burn. In this game, it's a so what, now what mentality. Okay, I messed up. I muffed a punt. I 4 punts in my whole career. I can't hold on to it. I remember we were playing the San Francisco 49. I was in Atlanta in 2019. I got smacked. Felt like dude broke my shoulder and I fumbled. And they went down, drove, scored, and the very next we had a kickoff return. I wasn't confident. So I kept it in the end zone, and I'm a very aggressive, bold, courageous returner.
Yeah.
I caught the ball on like the 2-yard line. 2 yards deep into the end zone. I took a knee. I went to the sideline. Coach DQ was like, hey, be you. Don't lose you. Very next, they went down, scored again, went down, kicked it off again. I ended up having a 35, 45-yard return. So you have to be quick. You know what I'm saying? It's again, a so what, now what mentality, and everybody's looking. Everybody's observing. And if you can't if you don't have confidence in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to believe in you? So it's tough. It really is. I feel bad for the guy.
And it's even tougher for him because he's been out of football for 2 full years. Like this is not like what he's trying to do is unheard of. Like Tony Jefferson was out of football for 1 year and he was able to come back, but he was bounced around like a pinball from the practice squad to the active roster and back and forth, back and forth. He's been out for 2 full years. Like it's hard. It's unbelievably difficult for him to be able to, get back where you can't simulate. You can practice as much as you want with trainers, that you cannot simulate playing in an actual game. So the reps, the lack of reps that he unfortunately was not able to take, I think is starting to kind of show itself with, his absence from the game.
Yeah.
Nothing like those live bullets.
I feel like I'm giving him a little bit more credit because he did those 2 returns on the kickoff were decent returns, right? And nowadays, I don't know about you guys, but I am not getting comfortable with this new kickoff thing. And the changes they've made, I don't even know what they are. I'll be honest. I don't get it. It hasn't made it any better to me other than if you take it, you don't return it, you go to the 35 or whatever.
They're trying to reduce injuries, and it seems like they have had plenty of injuries that I've seen throughout the preseason. So it's not working.
Yeah, I'm giving him extra credit because he made returns during a kickoff, and I'm just not a fan of this new thing. And here we are with the second year of it, and I feel like it is a part of the game that has died, and it's unfortunate to be honest. Yeah, because it is an exciting part of the game, and it can be great. It doesn't happen all the time, which makes it even more exciting when it does. So I don't know what they changed it a little bit this year. Maybe they'll change it again and make it good, but it's right now.
Change it back to the way it was.
Yeah,
change it back to the original way it was. Special teams is a momentum shifting phase of the game, and the more that you change it to, I get you want player safety, But the more that you change this phase of the game, the more you eliminate this phase of the game. And it's crucial. It's important that you score on special teams. That takes your percentage and likelihood of winning this game up to like 80% or something like that. So change it back. I understand you want to keep guys safe, but let the kids play. Let the kids play. A little quote from Remember the Titans, if you guys know.
And that's also in the Bad News Bears, was probably before your time. But the other thing that I hate that they've changed is that you have to announce an onside kick. That is without a doubt.
Yeah.
What?
I will never be able to get behind that.
Yeah.
Like that's it's insane.
If you
to me.
execute an onside kick, that to me is so freaking exciting and just unbelievable too.
Well, because it's so unlikely. So yeah, when it does happen, it's like, oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And isn't it? You can only do an onside kick if you're losing.
If you're losing, yeah.
What are we doing? This is not football. Like this is not football.
I don't like it when those type of decisions are dictated, right? Like beforehand. Like you should have the right to be able to go for it if you want to go for it. It's a very low percentage play. So if you get it, then it's spectacular. The chances of you being able to recover it are super slim. And now if the other team knows it's going to happen beforehand, it's virtually impossible.
Yeah. And you've got this weird lineup too, where you have to have a certain amount of players and you can't, load the area. It's
crazy.
It's not a good decision at all.
It's stupid. That's what it is. You mean to tell me if I score right before a half and we come out the half and I'm up 7 and I want a 14-point swing, I can't surprise onside kick because I'm up by 7 points? Get the hell out of here. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's about winning for sure.
Yeah.
Back to the other thing about trying to make the game safer. I kind of don't agree. And here's why. Because I read a story where they did a survey of former NFL players, and whatever the number was, there was a very high percentage of former NFL players, like 75, 80%, say, in spite of all of the aftermath that comes with being a professional football player, they would all opt to do it again. Right. So nobody's like, that was a bad mistake that I made becoming a professional football player. They would all go back and do it again. Right, Kenan? You'd go back in a second if you could.
I want to now.
No, just like if you had the chance to go play the game again.
No, I'm kidding. To do it over, I would absolutely do it again. I understand making the game safer from a defensive receiver standpoint, or guys aiming at the head neck area. I get that. I understand that. But any other, this is the game of football. We are literally gladiators on the field. This is the most physical sport that you cannot stop injuries. And the more that I think that you try to protect, it's what you said. We knew the job description when we took it. And the more that you try and make it safe, I think the more you put guys in jeopardy. I can keep going on that, but I'll digress.
Well, it's the 1% of the 1% of the 1%, right? It's the best of the best of the best athletes in the entire world, the highest trained, the best in nutrition, the smartest. Like, we're talking about the absolute top of the game here. So yes, it is a vicious, violent, physical game, and it's always going to be that way, whether you try to regulate it or not. I just hope they don't regulate it to the point to where it's not recognizable anymore.
Yeah, that's where it's headed.
We don't want flag football.
You talking about the Pro Bowl?
Oh, that's a joke, man. I can't watch it. I don't watch it anymore. I haven't watched it in years because it's just like you're telling me we have the best players in the world all together on the same field, and now we're gonna go play 2-hand touch. Like, what are we doing?
Listen, I grew up watching
football. Like,
T.
go actually test yourself against the best and see who the real best is. Like,
it's crazy.
It's insane to me.
I would rather watch that game. I would rather watch them play that game they played in Maverick Top Gun 2, where they were on offense and defense at the same time. Now, that might be fun. Although I didn't understand that game, it did seem like it was kind of fun. I am becoming a big fan of, not that I wasn't before, I'm a big fan of one specific part of Cameron Dicker's game, and that is his draw.
Yeah.
When he kicks that ball, you're like, oh, that one's going to go outside or hit the upright, and it just curves right. He must be a great golfer because that ball just curves right back into the upright almost every time. And that to me is so comforting, right? Because it's like it's the most repetitive kick that I think I've ever seen from a kicker. It does the same thing every single time. except for week 1 of preseason in the in the Hall of Fame game. But he got that out of his system, and now he feels fine about it. So yeah, 3 for 3 today, along of 39 yards. None of that surprising.
No, not at all. And for Dicker, I think if he makes his or even attempts his next 3 kicks in the regular season, he'll be the most accurate kicker in NFL history so far with the amount of attempts that he has. So Dicker is a guy, just like with all special teams units, right? You just want it to be robotic in its setup and its performance and its execution, right? You just want to be snap, hold, kick, everything smooth, and that's exactly what that unit has been. And that's what happens when you have an all-pro long snapper and you have one of the better kickers in the league. That unit looks like it's clean and it's ready to go. Robotic, like you want it to be.
I look at him and I say, you never even want to think it or say it, but when you play that kind of position, just hope it never goes south, right? Because you would never want that for him or for anybody else. But he must be, talk about polarizing focus. He must have an ability to focus on what's in front of him and then let it go, wash it away, and move on to the next one like nobody else, right? Because he never wavers at all, and I think that is extremely unique for a kicker. Even the best of the best, like we see them, oh well, they're going to miss here and there, and he'll miss some. He's not going to be perfect, but right. He's the closest to perfect that I think I've ever seen. Right?
He's got the ice water in his veins for sure.
Ice water in his veins.
I've never met the guy, and I'm not trying to say this in a negative way. He must be not the smartest guy. No, I don't know. Because anytime I've ever met really great athletes, they guys that don't think too much are the best athletes, right? Because I'm just out here doing my thing. Okay. I'm not overthinking anything.
Okay.
Well, I think that just comes with the preparation being so good that when they step out onto the field, they don't have to think. They can go play fast and go play the game. That is what it is. It's not that it's that they're not intelligent. It's that they've done the preparation so much that they're ready to go play and let their instincts take over.
I like that better. I was trying not to insult him, but
listen, I like what both of you guys just did, but I gotta side with my guy Pete. Because listen, I won't say any names. I promise you I will not say any games because I got a lot of love for these guys that I'm thinking about and that I'm talking about. But I played with some absolute pet rocks that I'm being if you ask any NFL player, they will tell you that there's some guys who just don't have
that. They had some boosters do their homework for them to get them through.
1000%. You sit in these meeting rooms with some of these guys and these questions are being asked and you're hearing the answers. You're like, how the hell are you in this room? How? But then you get on that football field and they're football guys.
Sound like Bobby Boucher.
Listen, I'm telling you. So Pete, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There are some
I don't want
guys
to call him stupid, but
don't do that. We gotta listen. My mom always tells me there's a way to say everything, son. So we won't call him stupid. We'll just call him pet rocks.
How about this? No. I love his ability to not overthink.
There you go. There we go. I love it.
He knows the task at hand and is able to focus on that and wash away everything else. And that to me is a crazy skill. That ability to just be like, let it all go away. And I'm worried about this one thing right now. And then I'll worry about it again in 5 or 10 minutes. And that's that. Right. So I applaud the ability that he has to focus on that one thing so exclusively.
And then listen, if we're being honest, that kicker position is outside of quarterback is the most pressured position on the football field. There's no one else to blame. There's no one else to look at unless the holder or the snapper. When that ball is in the air, it's on no one but the kicker. So, shout out to all the kickers out there. D'Angelo Williams used to always tell our kickers, you guys aren't a part of the team. But as I got older, I'm like, listen, I would hate to be a kicker. There's no one else to blame. As playing offense, we could blame the O-line. We could blame the receivers. We could blame the quarterback. We could blame the coach. We could just blame the defense. They played better.
It's all your fault.
Listen, as a kicker, it's only you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why they get
Lonely
the most
Island,
death
man. It's a lonely, lonely job.
Yeah, and
That's
all you
why
do
they
is
get death
stand there
threats.
and think about it all day long.
All
You're just
day
standing
long.
over there by yourself.
But hey, they get paid millions of dollars to go out there and kick that football, so I am gonna be
Listen.
okay with it. Yeah, you know what you're signed up. Like you said earlier, you know exactly
Yeah.
what you signed up for
Yeah.
when you were able to make it to this level of the NFL. But fortunately for us, the Chargers have cycled through a lot of different kickers, and even when they brought him in, they brought in 3 or 4 kickers that same year. So to be able to find Dicker, the kicker, and have this guy who's so absolutely reliable and is a guy that's been a weapon past 50 yards, right? And that's not always a gimme. Those are 50-50, but with him, you have a lot more confidence that he's going to be able to knock those down. So I think it's a luxury to have a kicker the quality of a Dicker, the kicker.
And we've got about 5 minutes, Kenyon, and we've gone, just for the record, now over 20 on special
Listen,
teams.
I was just about to say you're a man of your word, and I love that.
JK Scott,
You don't think I can do it? Watch what I'm about to do.
yeah, we could spend a whole hour talking about the punter if you want. JK Scott, 5 punts, 213 yards, a long of 59, and we were all amazed by his prowess last week, and again today showed up with 4 inside the 20. So that's a weapon that gets very little respect as well.
People
Check.
don't really, if you don't truly know special teams, you really don't pay, when they come on the field, you either go get a beer, go get something to eat, whatever it is, you don't pay attention. But to have a Dicker, the kicker, and then to have a punter who can do what he does on a consistent basis, not a one-off, not a two-off, but do it every single time, that is an absolute benefit to this team. You can flip the field, you can pin a team back in their own territory. So listen, from a special team standpoint, we got it made, baby. We got it made.
And with him, his specialty is the hang time. He is so good at limiting returns because he kicks that ball so high in the air that the unit is right there in position when that ball is about to land in the returner's hand. So it is definitely a weapon to have a kicker who has that. He's not always had the longest distance or the biggest leg, but it's been very precise, and he has that calling card of being able to limit those returns because of how long that ball is in the air waiting to get caught.
Only to be outdone by Ethan Evans today on the other side of the field with a 69-yarder. Oh my gosh. That was a bomb. All right. Anything else, Kenyon? Any other special teams topics you want to touch on here in the final minutes?
I'm at peace.
Yeah, just
I'm
a double shout out
satisfied.
to Luke Grimm, right, for the punt return touchdown. Give him
Yeah.
another shout out while we're talking
Shout
about special teams.
We definitely
All right.
we didn't talk about my guy enough. He deserved more than what we gave him tonight.
All right. One more to go preseason. It is next Saturday. Next Saturday, Levi's 5:30 against the Niners. So it'll be a big question mark as to who starts, who's going to be out there. How many of the starters are we going to see in that first series? Do they have anything to prove? Are they going to have to get out of the doghouse, if you will, after the way they performed today? Both David and Kenyon think that they will have something to prove, and they're going to have to kind of wipe the slate clean to get ready for the regular season. By the way, in Sao Paulo, Brazil, have fun with that, guys. That'll be in 2 weeks, but a little less than 2 weeks because it's a Friday night. But 49ers next week on Saturday at 5:30, and we'll be here to break it down right after the game. So for the 3-time Super Bowl champion Kenyon Barner, Locked On Chargers daily host, along with Daniel
Wade.
Daniel Wade. I called him Danielle last week, and I felt terrible. Along with Daniel Wade, David Drogemeyer, I am Pete Fox. Appreciate you watching, listening, and as always, appreciate the comments. Have a good weekend. We will talk next Saturday.